Hello and welcome back to Minecraft All the Mods 10. As promised, the restaurant, the tavern, and the little guardhouse over there have all been built in between. Took a bit of time, took some doing. Had to go make these, like thatch single shingle things, at the architect, etc., etc. I have, however, run dangerously low on oak wood because, as you can see, everything here is made of it. So, we've got a couple more buildings we want to get going, but the main thrust of this episode is going to be expanding our wood production. Because the little thing we've got over here, let me just kind of get over here. Doot, doot, doot. Here we go. Alright. The plant gatherer with a single oak sapling just isn't going to cut it anymore. We're going to need to expand that, and I also want to get the colonies to produce its own oak wood as well, so that will just be in the system for us to, for it to be used by both them and us, without us having to then take our own stuff and put it in there. So, before we get quite to that, though, we are going to need just a couple more things. So let's go to at mine call, and we need a couple of additional buildings. The forester's hut is what we are actually going to end up using. So just like that, we have a forester's hut. Well, the block at least. We are also going to need. Where are you? I need. Let's see if I can just spot it. Is it this? No, that's the enchanters. That's the hospital. Apiary. Nope, that's a flower shop. School. Where is... I don't want to have to just give up and type it in, but I might be doing that. That's the flower shop again. Barracks. Where's the residence? Alright, you know what? We're going to give up and type it in. Forester's hut. Residence. There we go. Alright, we want just a couple of these. We'll make 4. We'll just have 4 ready to... Or not. As I said, dangerously low on wood. Alright, we'll have 3, because that's what I have the wood for. So let's start with this, since this is going to take longer, and, we'll be able to just kind of run in the background as things go. So we'll start here, and then we will switch over to doing some stuff with the industrial foregoing to up our wood production at our base. So, we need a forester's hut, and it should be somewhere with at least a bit of room nearby. I'm kind of thinking this side of the restaurant, even though the warehouse is all the way over there, it's not going to matter that much. So I'm thinking, alright, let's eat some ham. Eat some infinite ham. Let me move my exchange. Actually, let's put our exchanging gadget away. I've been kind of doing all sorts of things, expanding out our greenery and such. We need our build tool. So let's just kind of whack there. And we want, it should be craftsmanship carpentry? Maybe? Or it might be essentials or something? No, see, that's the Fletcher's hut, the sawmill. Fundamentals. Let's check fundamentals. Forester's hut. There we go. Alright, let's check the lumberjack first. Okay. You just kind of become that. That doesn't look too bad. That looks kind of nice, actually. Alright, let's see what the alt lumberjack... Oh, whoa. Okay. The alt lumberjack is much bigger. Alright, let's just go with the regular lumberjack. I kind of like it. Let's kind of do this so that we can clip in and see. Can we, see where our borders are, please? No? Yes? No? Kinda? Hmm. I don't get to see where my border is. That's a little bit of a problem. Let's rotate. Which way do I want you to face? Yeah, not that direction. This way, maybe? That kinda looks alright. Yeah, that looks alright. I just need to figure out exactly where I want this guy, because this isn't helping. Well, there we go. Now it's helping. It just didn't want to do it at first. Alright, so if we do that, we will move you one out from there. Yeah. Oh, maybe not. I would like there to be a straight road this way. So let's move you to the other side of what would be the road. So let's see, is that... That is in line with that. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that should do it, right? Let's take a look at level 1 again. Yeah, alright. Ding. There we go. As soon as it's done dinging. Alright. We can set you to... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, it's fine. We'll build. Build building. We'll let that do its thing. One thing I need to do before we go and do other stuff is none of these buildings have had people assigned yet. So the first thing I'm going to do... Well, you know what? We're not going to bother with that. We're not going to assign a guard just yet. But we are going to say, hey, everybody, you get to live here for the time being. That way, they're all, a little bit happier for having a house. Do I need to have somebody working here? That becomes a question. I don't really know. Adaptability knowledge. This is for a cook. See, I don't know if this requires an actual cook on staff. You know what? I'm going to say it does. So let's just hire the cook. There we go. Hey, it's a cook. Alright, so we're going to... How did you get in there? That's weird. Alright, well, we're going to shove those apples in there. Hopefully, they will do their thing. What do you want? You want...
It's a fine afternoon.
Oh, yeah, you want fuel for your furnace. We'll do that. Maybe. I think I got a sign. We'll worry about that later. But that leaves us one person to, basically do this job as soon as that's ready. Alright, I'm going to set down some residences off camera, and we will be right back to start working on our industrial foregoing again. Alright, work over there is, ongoing without my input for the moment. So, we can come back over here and get to work a little bit on our industrial foregoing. Well, the thing is that the gatherer and the sower beneath it are both going to need some upgrades. So, let's go with industrial foregoing at 4. Going. There we go. Alright. So we are going to want upgrades. Now, honestly, all I think we're really going to need is maybe a +1 or +2. But it requires the dissolution chamber, no matter what. No matter which one we go for, we need the dissolution chamber. So, the pity machine frame, diamond gear, a little bit of plastic, a chest, a couple of buckets, some gold, doesn't seem too difficult. Let's get that made, and then we can start rearranging things, because unfortunately we are going to need to move at least some of the machines. Let's get to it. Alright, so the dissolution chamber, where is that actually? So that I don't necessarily have to go through... another machine to get there? I am not immediately seeing it. Those are generators. Ooh, mechanical dirt. Yeah, see, this will actually unlock a few other things for us by doing this as well, which is why I was like, hey, yeah, let's do that. All right, there we go. Dissolution chamber. There are some things that aren't present. All right, so let's start with this. Let's get our pity machine frame. Bam. All right, what next? Oh, we need a couple of buckets, so that's easy enough. 1 and 2. 2 buckets, good. We need our diamond gear. Bam, easy enough. Done. What do we need now? All right, the plastic. So do I not have... Where... Latex processing unit. Did I not get the plastic? Okay, I have the dry rubber, and then that gets smelted down. All right, let's go ahead and smelt that down. And that should be everything we need for the dissolution chamber, which we can just pop in like right over here with a bunch of our other machines. We don't need that on there. Thank you very much. There we go. We got some plastic. That's plenty for the moment. Dissolution chamber. Bam. Just like so. And there we go. Dissolution chamber. All full. We are going to need some latex for it, so we are going to want to turn off... There we go. Run with redstone signal. We're going to want to turn that off, and then we're going to use some of our few remaining logs and stick it in front of the fluid extractor. And let you process that stuff. Now the question becomes, am I going to be able to pull latex out of this machine with a bucket? I am not sure. Alright, so I'm going to let that go, let it build up enough to try and pull out, because that is literally the next step. And I will also go keep an eye on the colony and stuff in the interim. We will be right back. Alright, so while I've been waiting on this, and it's still not ready yet, the all land within 1 chunks of lumberjack has been claimed, so the forester's hut is done. We should probably go check on that, seeing as it happened just after I got back from checking on it, so that's interesting. But I'm going to wait just a few more moments to see if I can get a bucket of latex out of this guy. So we are almost there. I'm really hoping I can, because if I can't, then I'm going to have to futz with the piping, and it's annoying. I don't want to have to do it. I would much rather just turn the machine off and then pull it out, which, let's see. Good, I can. Into the dissolution chamber you go. Excellent. All right. And it's acting like it's the first time I ever made latex because it's the only time I've ever pulled it out. So, now, let's say we want the +2. Let's say we want the +2. So we'll need some lapis, some glass, some redstone. Not exactly challenging. Now let's just grab some of each of this. Where's the lapis? There we go. We'll grab a little lapis. Do I have the glass panes? I do. So, we should... Oh, we can't actually click it in. That's mildly annoying. Would have been nice, but alright, so I think it was 4 of those, 2 of them, 2 of them. Hey, and it's going. Now let's get... Ooh, alright, I can only put 1 in at a time, apparently. Because I want to get 2 of these upgrades, because 1 by itself isn't going to help us much. Alright, there's that. Let's go ahead and whoop. And apparently that's another one of those achievements that's causing lag, instead of the other achievements that don't cause lag. Alright, there we go. Boop. And boop. And those. Alright, we'll let that do its thing. Well, we should probably try and sleep, seeing as it has become night. Doop. There we go. Alright, now. Before we head over... No, you know what? Yeah, let's grab a piece of wood. because I'm probably going to need it. Boop. Alright. I've got that. I've got some sticks. That's fine. Alright, let's head over. Spring over the wall. There we go. Look at that little guy. He's not taking much at all, is he? Alright, we are going to need... Boing. Boing. Alright. So, we are going to want to manage workers. Well, this is not a great worker, but it's our only one left, so there we go. So, we want to see what we need. We are going to need selection tool, obtain tool. There we go. We have our forester tool. I am going to want to see. Can I see where the? Can I see you? No. I would like to see you. Well, we're gonna say there to there, and I am going to grab. I did not bring any with me. That's annoying. That's okay. We can come over here. There are still some leaves sitting around, and I'll bet there's still some drops on the ground, too. I was having to clear out some of these orchard trees, and I think that's what I kind of want to set this to do, is those orchard saplings. If I can. Can we? No, you know what? I don't see any on the ground here. Mildly annoying, but we can pew-pew with lasers. No? What about this one over here? No? Alright, and there aren't any on the ground. I actually did clean up pretty well. Okay. That means I'm going to have to cross... Oh, or I could get this over here. No, you know what? That's the last one on this side. Let's bound across. Boingy. And let's just kind of do this. Sapling, please. Of course, the moment I want a sapling is when they're not dropping like mad. Okay, fine then. Have it your way. We're just gonna mining gadget the whole bloody tree. I would have settled for just a couple of saplings. But no. Have I gotten any of these saplings? Why am I not getting any of these saplings? There's one. Okay. You know what? One will do for the time being. I know I have more back at my base anyway, so one will do. Alright. Back over there. Boingy. And swim because my boingy wasn't far enough. I know I could put my jetpack on and not have to do this, but meh. You know, it doesn't say, I don't know, I just don't feel like it. Really, is what that boils down to. Alright. And I don't know where I put things. So what we're going to do here real quick is not have that. Let's see. Is this starting everything on or off? Saplings. All right, everything is on. I really wish the default was off so that I could just turn on what I wanted. But we'll do that. We'll set you there. You are going to want... Okay, this does max level stone. That's good. You're probably going to want a hoe as well, because for some reason they need to use a hoe to plant. But we'll just do that. We'll just make one of each. And deal with it that way. And if she doesn't actually need a hoe, then whatever. I guess that's fine. Boop, boop, boop. Could we... No, I gotta... Okay. You. I think. Alright. Go. Do your thing.
What can I do for you?
Alright, you took both of those into your inventory. You have not taken the sapling into your inventory, though. Let's put the sapling
I'll take
directly
care
in
of
your
it.
inventory. Let's see if you do anything with that. Orchard sapling is on. Maybe you need more than one? I don't know. There's a reason why I made it a 3x3 is because I wasn't sure what kind of sapling pattern that was going to require. So we'll just come over here. We will grab some of those saplings. You know what? Do I have... I do have one of the upgrades on me. So the machine I don't need to move is this one. Because this can get the upgrade. And if we show working area, it is much bigger now. Unfortunately, we are now going to have to take the plant sowing machine and put it there instead. Which, it is good that I've done that, because that way I will be able to see it. Let's not show working area. Let's do this really quick, where I try and move this machine. This is going to not go well, I can already tell. This machine that has a whole bunch of those in. Alright, let's just kind of... Let's clear some of this stuff out of my inventory. There's a bunch of stuff here I don't necessarily need to have on me. The bucket can go there. You can actually go in there too. You two can go in there till I need you. There we go. Alright. So we are going to... Oh, we are going to need to futz with a few more things here. Ooh, 2 item conduits. 1, 2 should be enough, actually. Okay. What about the energy? Oh, you got plenty of the energy. This doesn't require liquids, so okay. This is actually going to go a little bit better than I thought it would. Let's go ahead. I need to not use the mining laser to try and pick up a machine. There we go. Alright, and you... Gonna be right there. We're gonna move you and you like that. Oh, you know what? Those are actually right there. That's not a problem then. So we should be able to just take the plant sower here, stick it right, right there. You should... Oh, alright. Maybe. Kinda. Basic filter. Okay, I got my filter back. Can I sort of... Alright. We want a filter, insert. We don't actually need to extract anything. You can get all of those back. And... Oh, I didn't have the latex for it, of course. I need my bucket back. Like, why is it not ready? There we go. Alright, now you're gonna run. Give me that second upgrade. There we go. Alright. You will get that add-on. We will need to... Let's see, I think we can do this. And then get rid of that one. Yeah. We could probably do a slight reconfigure here, too. And go there, there. Alright, slightly better. Still not great, but slightly better. That should have that ready. Before I go, though, let's find those orchard saplings. Here we go, whole mess of them. I'll just grab a stack. Oh, you, didn't get all the ones I wanted. Alright. And now, we should... Oh, well, now we should sleep. There we go. And, okay, we are just going to need to get a bit more dirt to sort of redo this. And that should plant. Yep. All right. So we'll fill in a bit more dirt there. That'll be fine. Excellent. So now we'll produce a bunch more trees, which means the wood will come in faster. All right. So we've just got you left to worry about. And it's good. This is kind of working out. Let's see. All right, here.
You are so wise.
Have some more saplings. Is that going to do it for you? It's not appearing so.
Hi.
You don't think you have a problem.
Good to see you.
Alright, well, the fact that you don't think you have a problem doesn't actually mean much. Alright. Custom recipes, main settings. Replanting on. Oh, zoning mode on. Break leaves off. Use shears off. No, I want zoning mode on. Come on. Alright, let's kind of do that. Alright, B position set, left click. Okay. There we go. That ought to do it. Zoning mode on. Okay, there we go. The zone wasn't set correctly. That was the problem. Kind of. Maybe. Alright, you're standing in the zone. Are you going to plant?
Good day to you.
How about I take one of these and start you out? Okay. I don't like the fact that you're standing directly on the tree. There we go. I've made it a little bit bigger so that you don't stand directly on it. Alright, well, I guess the only way to... Oh, you know what? Bone meal. Do I have bone meal? I can do bone meal of some sort, right? I'm sure I have something. I've got to have some sort of bone meal. Let's see if I can bone meal this tree, and then see if she will chop it and then replant. Because as long as that gets done, everything else should work. I really need to, like, figure out how to get the AE system up top, I think. Bone. Well, we have some bones. Crusher? Let's crusher them. At least the half that I've grabbed. And I'll just grab a single stack here and hope it's enough to get our tree going. 6. Which is better than the 3 we would have gotten. Oh! And over. And away we go. And bone meal. There we go. Alright. That's a big old tree. Now, are you going to chop it? I sure hope so. Okay. Recognize there's a tree there. It's a big old tree. You can do it. Go on. Do things. Alright, what if I recall you? Okay. Tree. So there's a tree over there. You should have everything you need. Oh, you're going over. Okay, you're going back to stand in the same spot. You should recognize there's a tree here. I've never tried it with a modded sapling before, although they're obviously set up to recognize them. But is it going to recognize the fact that there's a... Oh? Where are you going? Where are you going? Why are you all the way over there? There's a tree here to chop down. Come on. Come on. Chop down the tree. Alright, well, I'm going to wrap the episode up here. She doesn't seem to be chopping. She does seem to be randomly going in other directions, searching for something, though. So, if all else fails, I will have to swap to a more normal tree type. But for the moment, I'm going to let this run a day or two, see if she ever recognizes it. See what happens. I will let you know next episode. But that is going to do it for this episode. What did we do? We managed to get our Industrial Foregoing upgrades going so that we can produce more wood over there. We got our Forester hut so we could theoretically produce wood over here because the colony is using a lot of wood, and I don't know what she's doing. I have no clue. But that is going to do it for this episode. So, until next time, have a good one.